Hello, I'm Tracy White, Director of Resources at the Diocesan Office. Welcome to this session on the Gift Aid Small Donation Scheme, or GADS as we sometimes call it. The GADS scheme, like the Gift Aid scheme, allows us to make the most of donations given to church, but in this case, you don't need to have a gift aid declaration. So what makes a donation eligible for the GADS scheme? The donation must have been made within the last 2 years, and that's tax years, which runs April to March. So it must have been made within the last 2 tax years. The donation must have been received in a community building, and I'll go through what constitutes a community building shortly. The donation must be for £30 or less, and it must have been made either by contactless payment or by cash. Donations must have been received in a community building. So what constitutes a community building? Well, the church is open to anyone who needs to use it, as would be a church or village hall. So they are both community buildings. However, something like a school or a residential home for the elderly, you have to receive an invitation to go into those buildings. So they are not considered community buildings. Likewise, if you have a home group or a group that meets in the rectory or the vicarage, these are private residential homes and so cannot be counted as community buildings. As I've already mentioned, you do not need to have a gift aid declaration for the donation to be eligible for this scheme. But there are some rules about the church making the claim. So if you are in or a community building, so if you regularly hold church services, say in the church hall, then you must have a minimum of 6 services a year in the church hall where 10 or more people attend, and similarly in the church itself. But if you think about it, most churches will have services, at least 6 services, that could include weddings, baptisms, funerals, services at Easter and Christmas and so on, where at least 10 people will attend. So as long as you've got 6 services where 10 people or more have attended, you can use this scheme. You also have to be able to show that you've made a gift aid claim for the same year, which is equivalent to 10% of your GADS claim. Let's just unpack that a little. So let's say you wanted to claim the maximum of £2,000, which would equate to you've received £8,000 worth of cash donations. To get that £2,000, you must have claimed at least £200 in gift aid from HMRC in the same year. However, because HMRC sees our mission areas as one big parish, which indeed it is, we can actually use the gift aid claims from other churches to match our GADS claim. So if you are one of our few churches who only use Gift Direct, which means you don't make a gift aid claim, just get in touch with me and we can work out whether there's a match from a different church in your mission area that you can use. And in most cases, that certainly exists. So you need to have claimed in the mission area at least 10% of the gift aid equivalent to what you're going to claim on GADS. So what records do you need to keep? HMRC and the Church of England worked on this vestry record sheet, which you can download from our website. And if you use this, you will absolutely be keeping records as HMRC would want you to. You can also use this for keeping records of your gift aid envelopes. So there are various columns, and this is the column that relates to cash donations. And you'll see here that notes of over £50 are excluded because you can only make a GADS claim on donations of £30 or less. So if somebody puts a £50 note into your collection plate, you might be very, very thrilled. I'm sure you would be, but you can't claim GADS on it. So in the vestry, when the collection is being counted, you fill this in and you give a copy to your treasurer, and they will give a copy to the gift aid secretary. So you need to keep your vestry records, but you also need to keep a paying in slip. So the treasurer needs to show that the cash has actually been banked. So please don't be tempted to put your collection into the safe and then pay for things out of it. You can run a petty cash system under the guidance of the treasurer, but that we must show HMRC that we've banked the cash collection that we've received if we want to claim GADS on it. How long must you keep these records? Well, like all accounting records, they have to be kept for 6 years. So that's both the paying in slips and the vestry records. So you've got all your information to hand. You know how much has been collected over the previous tax year, in which buildings, and you've got vestry records and pay slips to underpin those if you need to, if there was ever an audit. So now what you need to do is download the schedule. So let me just reiterate that you claim on GADS not in the church year, as you do with your ordinary gift aid claim. So for your ordinary gift aid claim, you claim from 1st of January to 31st of December. You can do, obviously, more than one claim a year if you have a significant portion of income coming in. But for your GADS claim, claims are made from the 6th of April to the 5th of April. You can, if you wish, claim from 6th of April to the 31st of December, and then make a new claim from the 1st of January to the 5th of April, if that helps your accounting procedures. And if you're the gift aid secretary, you might want to talk to the treasurer about whether that's something they would welcome or whether it's really not necessary. So you can get a copy of the gift aid schedule from your mission area gift aid secretary, or you can download it from the HMRC government website. The first thing you'll see is some of the rules. So have a look at those rules. They just tell you how to fill in the schedule. Like the gift aid schedule, the gift aid small donation scheme schedule, or as they call it, the community building schedule, also has examples below those rules that I've just shown you. So don't be put off by those, just keep scrolling down. This is much simpler to do than a gift aid claim. All you need to do is put the building name, the first line of the address and the postcode, the tax year that you're claiming on, and then the total amount for that community building. And if you haven't claimed for 2 years, you can claim 2 years on one schedule. But do remember, these have to be tax years and not church finance years. Save your schedule somewhere where you can find it again and with a title that makes sense, such as the name of your church, GASDS, and the year. And then send your schedule to your mission area gift aid secretary, either by the memory stick or by email. And then your MAGAS will send the schedule to HMRC via the government gateway. And yeah, that's exactly how your MAGAS will look when they're doing that. It's very high-tech stuff. The money will arrive in the church bank account via the missionary bank account. So the HMRC will pay into the missionary bank account, and then the missionary treasurer will pay that money into your church bank account without taking any top slice, unless you have a pre-agreed procedure for that. So that's it. That's the gift aid small donation scheme. Highlights are it's cash or contactless donations only. You can only go back 2 years, and the donations must be £30 or less. Have another look if you're not sure. And of course, you can always ring me at the diocesan office if you need further help. Goodbye now.